It was a cold, rainy evening in the heart of San Francisco. Jake, a seasoned taxi driver with a sharp wit and a keen eye, had just started his night shift. The city's streets glistened with rainwater reflecting the neon signs of diners and bars. Jake was a man who had seen it all: drunk passengers, late-night confessions, even a briefcase full of cash once. But tonight, something felt different, as if the city was holding its breath. Jake's taxi had just rolled to a stop outside a sleek, modern hotel when the back door opened. A man in a simple hoodie and jeans slid into the back seat, his face partially obscured by the shadows of the streetlights. Jake recognized him immediately. Elon Musk. Jake tried to mask his surprise, glancing at the rearview mirror. "Where to?" Jake asked casually, though his curiosity was piqued. Elon leaned forward slightly, his tone urgent but calm. "Drive. Just drive. I'll tell you where to go." Jake raised an eyebrow but complied. The car pulled into traffic and the city lights blurred into streaks. The silence in the cab was thick, but Jake's instincts told him that something was off. Elon kept glancing out the window as if watching for someone. Or something. As they headed toward the quieter outskirts of the city, Elon finally spoke. "What's your name?" "Jake," he replied. "And you're Elon Musk. Hard not to recognize you." Elon gave a faint smile but didn't elaborate. Instead, he handed Jake an envelope. "If anything happens tonight, make sure this gets to the authorities." Jake's heart skipped a beat. "What's in it?" "Just take it," Elon insisted. His tone was firm, leaving no room for argument. The tension in the car grew heavier. Jake's curiosity burned, but he knew better than to pry. As they drove, Elon's phone buzzed. He answered it with a curt, "What is it?" Jake couldn't help but overhear fragments of the conversation. Words like breach, protocol, and compromised stood out. Elon's voice grew sharper. "I told you this would happen if we didn't act sooner. Just secure the files. I'll handle the rest." Elon hung up and met Jake's gaze in the rearview mirror. "Change of plans. Head toward the docks." "The docks? That's not exactly a safe place this time of night," Jake said, trying to mask his growing unease. "Neither is anywhere else right now," Elon replied cryptically. As they approached the industrial area near the waterfront, Jake noticed a black SUV trailing them at a distance. His grip on the steering wheel tightened. "Are we being followed?" Jake asked. Elon glanced back and muttered, "Stay calm. Just keep driving." But the SUV began closing the gap. Jake's pulse quickened as he weaved through the narrow streets trying to lose their pursuers. "What's going on?" Jake demanded. Elon hesitated before answering. "Let's just say, I'm carrying something that some very dangerous people don't want the world to see." Jake didn't press further, but his mind raced. Who were these people? And what could Elon Musk possibly have that was worth risking his life for? The chase intensified. The SUV was now dangerously close, its headlights glaring through the rain. Elon leaned forward. "Take the next left. There's an old warehouse up ahead." Jake complied, his tires screeching as he made the sharp turn. They sped toward the warehouse and Elon shouted, "Kill the lights!" Jake switched off the headlights as they rolled into the shadows of the abandoned building. The SUV sped past, not noticing where they had gone. Breathing heavily, Jake turned to Elon. "All right, I think I deserve some answers now." Elon nodded, his expression grim. "What I'm about to tell you can't leave this car." Elon pulled a small device from his pocket, a sleek metallic object no larger than a flash drive. "This contains data from an experimental AI project. It's a prototype capable of self-learning at a rate we've never seen before. But in the wrong hands, it could be weaponized. It's not just code, it's a blueprint for something dangerous." Jake stared at the device, a mixture of awe and dread washing over him. Why would anyone want to weaponize AI? Elon sighed. "Power, control, the usual reasons. But this isn't just about control. It's about erasing free will. Imagine an AI that can predict and manipulate human behavior on a global scale. Governments, corporations, they do anything to get their hands on it. Their conversation was cut short by the sound of tires screeching outside. The SUV had doubled back. "They found us," Elon said, his voice steady despite the danger. Jake's instincts kicked in. "What do we do now?" Elon opened the envelope he had given Jake earlier and pulled out a set of coordinates. "Get me here. It's a secure location." Jake glanced at the coordinates. "That's across the bridge. We'll never make it with them on our tail." Elon smirked faintly. "You underestimate my planning." Elon pressed a button on his phone, and moments later a drone buzzed into view outside the warehouse. It hovered near the taxi, scanning the area. "Get in the car," Elon said. Jake started the engine, and they sped out of the warehouse, the drone following closely behind. The SUV was in hot pursuit, but the drone began deploying small devices that created bursts of electromagnetic interference. The SUV's engine sputtered, and the vehicle skidded to a halt. Jake couldn't help but laugh. "You really think of everything, don't you?" Elon's expression remained serious. "Not everything. We're not safe yet." As they crossed the bridge, the city lights gave way to the dark expanse of the countryside. Jake followed the coordinates to a secluded facility surrounded by high-tech security. Elon handed the device to a man waiting at the gate. "Secure this and make sure the backup servers are offline." The man nodded and disappeared inside. Jake parked the car and turned to Elon. "So, is this the part where you disappear, and I never hear from you again?" Elon smiled for the first time that night. "Let's hope so. For your sake." He handed Jake a thick envelope. "For your trouble." Jake opened it to find a stack of cash and a note. "Thank you for trusting me." As Elon walked away, Jake couldn't help but wonder if he had just been part of something that would change the world or destroy it. He drove off into the night, the city lights once again reflecting in his rearview mirror. But this time, they felt different, as if they held secrets he would never fully understand.